Welcome, guys. We are here on the Own It Show with special guest Shelley Brook, who's an incredible, successful entrepreneur, one of my business partners, and also my sister. So I'm so grateful to have her on the show here. Shelley, why don't you share about yourself?
Well, thank you so much, Heather, for inviting me on the Own It Show. I'm really excited to be here. Like Heather said, my name is Shelley Brook. I am a launch event strategist, and I work with coaches and their teams to create strategies around online launch events or conversion events that create value for their community and consistently convert. And we always get rid of that burnout, the overwhelm, and we never break the bank. Yeah, so that's a little bit about me. Did you want me to tell a bit more about my journey, Heather?
Yes, yeah, we love to inspire and educate and serve here on the Own It Show. And we wanted to hear, who's Shelley, but also about your entrepreneur journey. So for all of us, that roller coaster looks slightly different. Some of us are halfway through a ride, some of us are completing one and starting a new one. So it's always different. And we want people to understand that entrepreneurship looks different for everybody. And for no one is it a flat road. And so we love to have people to come share, their entrepreneur journey and where they're at and things that they've learned along the way. So yeah, absolutely. Please share.
Yeah, well, my entrepreneurial journey started back in, I'm going to say it was 2017. And I was working full-time as a youth coordinator for a local municipality. I also had a young family, and the youth coordinator job was amazing. It was lots of fun. I loved working with the 300 plus youth every year came through our youth center that I built from scratch. And I also had this young family at home, and I just felt like I was living these two different lives, the family at the youth center and my family at home. And my heart really was at home, but I couldn't be 100% there. And I really wanted to be working from home. So then I dove into research, which is what I love to do. I'm a researcher, researching ways to work for myself from home. And this business model kept coming up to me, a virtual assistant. I kept passing it off. I'm like, no, I don't want to be I'm not an assistant, but it kept coming up for me. And it really did tick all the boxes. It matched like all my administrative skills, my tech skills, my marketing skills that I had developed as the youth coordinator. So I dove into that, and fast forward to 2018, October, I had so many clients and my business was booming that I was able to leave my full-time municipal government job to work from home as a virtual assistant. And I loved it. I had multiple clients. I built an agency, so I was training other virtual assistants to work with clients who were coming to me looking for help. But I just didn't have the time to serve everybody. So I built this agency and started training other assistants to kind of do what I do. And that was amazing. And fast forward to end of 2020, and I was burnt out. Working as a virtual assistant is amazing. It's super rewarding, and it's still trading time for money. And I really was still, I built a business that was another job, essentially. So I was missing dinners still sometimes. I was missing my kids' activities because I had work to do. I had client events and stuff like that I had to help with. And it just, it wasn't why I left my full-time job. If I wanted to be missing dinners with my kids, then I would have kept working at this full-time job that had a pension and benefits, and it ended at a certain time of day. So I decided to scrap the whole thing. I just decided to start from scratch. I had recently learned about online launch events, actually the year previous, and had started helping my clients run online launch events, conversion events, like workshops and webinars, and challenges, and had helped them build their events to 5 to 6 figure events in 5 to 6 figures earned in 5 to 9 days. And it was incredible. I loved it. I really found my passion there. And so I scrapped the whole VA business and dove right into launch management. So helping actually managing events only, as opposed to also doing all the administrative tasks that I was doing as well. And now I also do consulting. So I consult with coaches and their teams on developing their launch strategy, all the emails and all the little things that go into it, including the stuff before, which we'll talk about, I guess, in a little bit. But and now I found my niche. I found where I'm loving it. I love talking launch events. I love talking strategy, and I love watching these events serve so many people. I really do believe that coaches have the ability to change the world. And I believe by running these free events or free workshops or low price workshops, depending on the strategy you choose, you can really increase your impact in the world as a coach. And I love working with mindset and success coaches, but business coaches as well, and just helping them to help so many more people. And then, of course, converting some of those people into paying clients for them so that they can continue to increase their impact in those people's lives. So that's where I'm at these days, Heather.
Love it. And that's why I wanted to have you on here today, guys. How to own it in business. Because guess what? If you want a business that is recession proof and all the things, you probably want to build something online. 1. 2, you don't want to be doing sales every single day. I mean, it's great. You do want to learn how to do that, but conversion events online are the new wave of the future to help you, do as Shelley said, do 4, 5, 6, 7 figures worth of sales in like 2 weeks, what could take some people 2 months, right? And the beautiful part about owning it in business and how to own it in business is learning how to build online. Learning how to build that visibility online, learning how not only to generate leads, but to convert them into clients, and to how to keep them in your ecosystem. And through these launch events, conversion events, workshops, webinars, summits, whatever these are, these conversion events, they are one of the best ways that you are able to help cut the sales process, because people get to know, like, and trust you in 5 to 10 days, which could take them in your ecosystem of seeing your blogs and your podcasts and this, that, and the other thing, 6 to 8 weeks or longer. So I love what you've been able to help us do, add a big fat 0 on our conversion events and more. Cut that sales time in half and help people move into our program quicker, which is incredible, because the quicker they get in the program, the quicker they get quantum leaps, the quicker their life changes, right? And now, if you are looking to truly build a business and you want to learn how to sell online, this is the way of the future. You've got to learn how to do conversion events virtually. And what I love is that they help you build that reoccurring revenue, because every 8 weeks you do one of these and you bring in, this much amount of money, and you just know that always happens. And it just ideally gets bigger and better. So Shelley, what are some incredible tips that you have for people on these conversion events, on launches? You wanted to share some special sauce in your zone of genius with us today.
Yes. So obviously, we want to create this vehicle for converting clients, for creating that impact, and then in the end converting clients. So that's the event. But there's a lot that goes in before the event and then the event itself. So the main phases that I like to share with my clients that I walk them through, they usually come to me looking for help with the event, right? Like, what emails do I need to send? How many days do I go live? All those things. But we take a pause on that and we back it up. And I always start with mindset and self-care, because that's the foundation, and that ripples out through the whole thing. So if your mind is not in the right place, if you don't believe that what you're doing is actually making an impact, and if you don't believe that your message is going to attract all the right people, it's not going to. Okay. And you're going to show up like that on your live videos with that limited belief, and it's going to come across the screen. It's going to come across in your energy. It's going to come across in your message. So building that belief and that mindset, doing visualization every day, with yourself and maybe even with your team, doing a team visualization, really is a powerful way to set the foundation for success in your conversion event. And then, of course, self-care. Self-care is one of the things that my clients, until they started working with me, always left to the last minute. They're in the middle of their workshop. They're in like on day 3 or 4, and they're feeling a little burnt out. And that's when they're like, oh, I need a massage. Oh, I need a bath. And they haven't made time for that. They haven't booked that appointment ahead of time. They haven't told a spouse that they're going to need a little bit of extra time for self-care, to take a bubble bath or to go for a walk or anything like that. They haven't made time for eating properly, meal planning, all those things. So putting those things in ahead of time, scheduling that self-care, doing the mindset work, that sets the foundation for the whole thing. And it really does ripple effect through the whole thing. And then we want to have an attraction system. You want to have an attraction system in your business in general. This isn't just for your launch event. You want to have an attraction system that is working all the time, not just when you decide to start launching. You put an event on the calendar, and that's when you start inviting people to your community and to your mailing list. You are going to be running in that hamster wheel forever until you set up these reoccurring systems that bring in people into your ecosystem. So into your social media following, into your Facebook community, into your mailing list, your texting community, those kinds of things. And there are certain things that we like to set up in place, including referral systems, lead magnets, PR, a lot of things I teach in my community. But that's something that you always put in all the time. We set that up and it's always running. And then the next phase is nurture. What do you do with all those people who are coming in all the time? You want to be continually building relationships with them. You want to be continually giving them value and starting to build that know, like, and trust factor. You want to be in conversation with them so that you're starting to get to know them and know their pain points and know their buying triggers too, right? So that starts to inform the content that you create for your conversion event. Because I mean, your overall goal is to serve them and help them have breakthroughs, and so that they see the value in working with you. But you can't do that if you don't actually know what they need. And you don't know what they need until you start talking to them. So during that nurture, you want to have a system in place for connecting with them in the DM, connecting with them on text message, getting them on a call, a connect call, just to get to know them, see where they're at, as well as delivering value in your community all the time. And then, of course, there's engage. Engage is your actual event. That's when we put in all the systems into place to make sure that you have the right topic for your launch event. You have the right name for your event and the name for all your workshop days, as well as, getting all the other little pieces that keep that machine running for 5 to 10 days. So that's your engage event. You engage your new prospects that you've been bringing in through your attraction system. You engage them in your launch event and continue to nurture that relationship until you get to the next phase, which is phase 5. You invite. That's when you make your pitch during your launch event. You pitch your paid program, your paid product, and you hit all their pain points. You let them know what you have for them, and you connect and get on a call and you make that close. So you want to make sure you have a good invite, good pitch process in place. And then, of course, lastly, rinse and repeat. Now, I worked with many clients as a virtual assistant before I learned about launching, and they were doing one-off masterclasses and webinars every month, and they would change the topic every month because they didn't get the results that they got the first time. So they would change the topic and they would change the strategy and they would do this and that, but they didn't have all the rest of this in place. So that's why it wasn't actually working, because they didn't have all the pieces in place. But then also, if you're doing a full overhaul on your event every time you do it, you never know actually what it is that works or doesn't work. So that's why we do a full debrief. We collect all the stats and all the data during the event and after the event so that we can have a good picture of what actually happened. And then we pick 1 or 2 things to tweak. We put another date on the calendar for 6 to 8 weeks out, and then we do it all again. We don't recreate the wheel. We use basically the same emails, same messaging, like all the things. There's no recreating everything every month. That was half the battle with these clients who did different webinars every month. There was a new email for them to write every month, or new email sequence for them to write every month. But with this system, we rinse and repeat. We tweak as we get to know our potential clients much better, and we just rinse and repeat and go from there. So I know that was a big mouthful. I hope that gave you guys a good picture of what it really takes to put together a cohesive launch event or conversion event that really does work for you.
And you know what I love that you really help people do is create their own signature conversion event. So all really successful people have this, right? Like Bob Proctor had his paradigm shift, Tony Robbins with his weekend in Vegas. Like everyone has their signature event. What I love is you show people how to do it virtually, but what people don't understand that the event is like 50% of what gets the results. It's the work you need to do outside of the event that helps you. Yes, it's so great once you finally figure out what's your signature event. That helps give people a sneak peek into what you can help them do and give them a quick win. Love it. But it's the work that you need to do outside of it, you know, that lead generation, the nurturing, bringing them in the ecosystem, converting them, serving them, all of those things. And what is so great about doing those debriefs is you get to cut, and the debriefs and the calls before is you get to customize those signature events to each kind of like cohort that comes to the event, right? And that's why they're live, because you get to interact with people. And what I might teach this time, it's still going to be the same major key components, but how I teach it will be completely different because we know who's coming to the event. We've been nurturing, we've been connecting, and so we can customize each event for our audience. So it's incredible. One, you need that signature event so people can get a sneak peek into those quick wins that you're able to get them, the results you're able to get them. And two, to be able to rinse and repeat. But three is that work that's done outside of the signature event that is truly going to help you get the success, because you win the event half the time before it gets started. 100%.
Yes, totally true. Yeah, exactly. Well said.
So amazing, guys. This is how we own our business. And this is how we're going to own our business virtually in the next, probably decade. The conversion events, the launch events, they may shift. Maybe we don't do them always on Facebook. They're specifically on Zoom. They'll be moving to LinkedIn, like who knows? But this is, if we're looking at marketing and sales, this is how we shorten the sales cycle. This is how we stop recreating a system over and over again that doesn't work. We pick a system and we iron it out until it's flawless. And this is how we create something for our own companies that really break us into the market. So it is so incredible, all the tips and tricks that you shared with us today. It's incredible to have you on as my sister, as my friend, as one of the coaches in the Own It Mastermind program, because guys, these are the things we need to know. If you're a business owner and you're online today, this is what you need to do. It'll help you build recurring sales. It'll help you be recession proof. It'll help you break through in your industry and into the market, in your market. So people are like, oh yeah, that's that person. That's what they do. I've seen that before. I'm going this time, right? Because by the 10th time that you've shared it is the first time they stopped and saw it. So doing it over and over again, some people are like, oh, well, that's silly. Well, no, it's actually marketing genius. So love it. Thank you, Shelley. That was so incredible. It's so grateful to have you on the show. It's so grateful to have you part of the company. It's so grateful to just be here with you to share your knowledge and energy. So where can they learn more about you and get some more stuff from you?
Yes, so you can find me on Facebook and Instagram. Both are at Shelley, Shelley, and then the letter L, and then my last name, Brook. So Shelley L. Brook, both on Facebook and Instagram. And I have a little giveaway, free gift for you guys today. It's my topics and name checklist for your launch event. A lot of people don't know where to start when they're choosing the topic for their event. So I have a little bit of a checklist for naming or choosing your topic, your name, and your subtopics. so that you can either if you've already chosen your name and topic, you can compare what you've chosen and see if it hits all the marks. If you haven't chosen it yet, then it's going to give you some ideas to think through the process and choose your topic and then create a name for your online event so that it becomes your signature event that people know you by. And you can grab it at shelleybrook.com/topic and name checklist. And then it's also in my Instagram bio. So if that's easier, to just go grab it there.
Awesome. And then make sure you join her Launch Lovers community on Facebook, because that is where she does weekly tips and tricks for you guys. So, if you loved what you saw today and you want to see more of it, make sure you get over there and check that out. And I'm sure that's in your Instagram bio as well.
Yes, it is. I actually did a full training on these 6 phases just this past week, so they can go in there and check that out.
Perfect. And we will make sure to have all those links for you guys in the show notes. So thank you so much today for your time and energy, Shelley. Guys, make sure you get over there and grab that. It is so important that you learn how to convert online if you want to stay relevant in the new age of business and own it with us online. So guys, thank you so much. Thank you, Shelley. Expect magic and miracles, guys. Stay happy, healthy, wealthy, and we'll see you on the next episode.